Imagine this: 10 graduate engineers join the exact same company on the exact same day. I mean, they get the same training, the same resources, they're working within the exact same organizational structure. But fast forward 10 years, one of them has become the general manager, while the other nine, they're still struggling to just establish themselves. So, what went right for that one engineer? Was it just blind luck? Or, did they happen to be the CEO's nephew? Assuming it's neither of those, okay, let's dive into this explainer. Think of our time together today as your mentor's playbook. This is a guide designed specifically for you ambitious young professionals who are totally ready to stop waiting for permission and start unlocking some serious compounding career growth. We've got a highly structured, actionable masterclass agenda today to get you unstuck. 1. The crossroads of career growth. 2. The graduate engineer paradox. 3. Facing the mirror questions. 4. The transformational mindset shift. 5. Your daily growth routine. And finally, 6. Growth is a daily habit. All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the crossroads of career growth, where excuses meet accountability. I want to start by speaking directly to a feeling you might actually be wrestling with right now. And you know the exact feeling I mean, right? You're working incredibly hard, you're putting in the long hours, but somehow you just feel like you've completely plateaued. You look around, you see others rising higher, earning greater recognition, creating a bigger impact, and you feel stuck in neutral. When you hit that frustrating plateau, this really specific quiet question starts echoing in your mind. Why have I not grown as I want? It is a maddening question, and let's be honest with ourselves here. When we ask it, it's incredibly easy to point our answers outward. We blame the economy, our family background, a lack of opportunities, our colleagues, or maybe our management. We basically convince ourselves that life just hasn't been supportive enough or favorable enough for us to surge ahead like those other people. And this brilliantly illustrates the crossroads we're talking about. The path on the left is blocked by this heavy rock of excuses, comparisons, and blame, leading straight to a barren wasteland. But on the right, the illuminated path requires you to take responsibility, to keep learning, to take action, and to be consistent. It's literally the ultimate choice we all face, the comfort of complaining versus the hard work of taking personal responsibility. Moving right along to Section 2, the graduate engineer paradox, luck versus discipline. This is where we uncover a powerful, hidden truth about why people who start on the exact same starting line end up at vastly different career destinations. Let's think back to the story of those 10 graduate engineers I mentioned at the very beginning. When we see the one who became the general manager, while the others stagnated, the easy trap is to attribute their massive success entirely to external luck and circumstance. We comfort ourselves, right? We think, well, they just got assigned the right projects, or they definitely had a better manager. But the reality is much more challenging. The difference between the general manager and the struggling engineers is rooted almost entirely in consistent internal discipline. It wasn't luck that elevated that one engineer, it was what they consistently chose to do that the other 9 did not. And we see this exact same pattern everywhere in life. Take a company with 20 sales managers selling the identical product in the identical market. One consistently exceeds their targets, while the others merely meet expectations or fall short. Or walk through a crowded vegetable market. Dozens of vendors sell nearly identical products, yet one vendor attracts a constant stream of customers, while the others wait around wondering why business is so slow. The secret is never hidden in external circumstances. It lies entirely in internal factors: mindset, discipline, continuous learning, and flawless execution. And just a quick fact to put that into perspective, research shows that certain technical skills can become obsolete in as little as 2.5 years if you don't continually update them. So that continuous learning, absolutely vital. Which brings us to Section 3, facing the mirror questions, identifying personal obstacles. If you want to truly grow, you have to stop looking out the window at all those external factors and start looking directly into the mirror at your own personal accountability. Looking in the mirror requires you to ask a deeply uncomfortable question. What role have I played in my own lack of growth? Very few of us dare to ask this because we naturally see ourselves as capable, hardworking, and deserving. But asking this question dismantles our self-limiting beliefs. It forces us to admit that maybe our own habits, choices, and attitudes have actively contributed to exactly where we stand today. To figure out exactly what role you've played, I want you to run through these diagnostic questions honestly and rapidly. Ready? Am I learning enough? Adapting to change? Using my time wisely? Taking initiative? Pushing my limits? Now look, I'm not giving you this checklist to make you feel bad. As your mentor, I'm giving you these questions as powerful diagnostic tools to identify the exact areas where you are holding yourself back from professional success. True growth begins the moment you stop looking for excuses and start looking for answers. All right, section 4, the transformational mindset shift, from defensive to proactive. So the crucial point is this mental pivot you absolutely must make to stop being a passive victim of circumstance and start acting as the active architect of your own career. A transactional mindset is inherently defensive. It relies heavily on blame, making excuses, and constantly postponing effort. It asks, why is life unfair to me? For example, a transactional mindset complains, why didn't HR give me leadership training? But a transformational mindset, that is entirely about proactive responsibility. It says, I will seek out personal growth opportunities myself. It means actively seeking solutions instead of searching for excuses and preparing today for what is coming tomorrow. When you replace defensive blame with proactive personal responsibility, your daily professional discipline transforms not just your work output, but your entire career trajectory. Let's get practical with Section 5, your daily growth routine, the actionable toolkit. We've talked a lot about theory and mindset, but now I want to provide you with the concrete, daily practices to actually implement this shift in your life. Here are 3 small, highly repeatable actions you can begin implementing today. Step 1, read for 30 minutes every single day to constantly transform your knowledge base. Step 2, make 5 extra calls or take 5 extra proactive steps in whatever your role is to build deeper trust and stronger relationships. Step 3, prepare today for tomorrow's challenges instead of just reacting to them when they finally hit your desk. These might seem like tiny micro habits, but when you repeat them daily, they build incredible professional resilience. Now, what's really interesting about the slide is how it gives you a tangible plan and clear metrics to maintain discipline even during exhausting, high-pressure work weeks, because we all have those weeks where our motivation drops and we just want to quit. Let's make it a clear metric. Aim to check off at least 3 proactive micro-habits by Wednesday. By actively tracking your daily mindset choices, ticking off those successful micro-habits, and explicitly noting your moments of proactive responsibility, you maintain your discipline even when the pressure is immensely high. To supplement that weekly tracker, here is your daily end-of-day checklist. Before you shut down your laptop for the evening, challenge yourself with these reflection prompts. What did I learn today? Where did I make excuses? How did I prepare for tomorrow? Establishing this simple routine ensures you are consistently tracking your daily mindset improvements and holding yourself to a high standard of internal accountability. And finally, Section 6, growth is a daily habit, the compounding effect. Career development is a marathon. It is a long-term journey, not some overnight explosion of success. You are building something that is meant to last. As the quote captures so well, growth is not an event, it is a habit. Successful people aren't necessarily born with more innate talent than everyone else. What separates them is their relentless commitment to continuous improvement. They simply choose to learn when others stop learning. They prepare when others postpone. They take responsibility when others complain. The habit is what makes all the difference. Let's move to 2 and see how this builds over time. When you start reading 30 minutes a day or making those 5 extra calls, the results are completely invisible in the beginning. Honestly, you won't look or feel any different next week. But fast forward 10 years, that compounded knowledge, those deeply forged relationships, the trust you've built, they become absolutely undeniable in the end, creating genuine career dominance. Growth does not begin when your circumstances finally change. Growth begins when we change. Every successful person you admire once stood exactly where you stand today, with the exact same doubts, fears, and limitations. The difference is, they refuse to let those challenges define them. You have the ultimate power to reclaim control over your future, but you have to make the decision to end the excuses right now. I leave you with this final provocative thought to carry with you. What can I change today that will help me become the person I want to be tomorrow? The next time you find yourself frustrated, don't rush to find someone or something to blame. Answer this question honestly, implement your new daily toolkit, and watch your career compound over time. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and I absolutely can't wait to see the incredible habits you build.